Foxy Box to get in the house. We're just trying to troubleshoot everything. Hang tight, everybody. Just waiting on my guest. Nobody's here yet, so that's fine. Here we go. She's in the house. Boom.
There it is. Does it look
Whoop,
good?
there it is. Yep, looks good and sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to go on my Instagram.
Yep.
Title, beatbox. Okay, so you said that it'll interfere.
It may, I'm not sure.
And then am I able to invite you to this
Yep.
too?
Yeah, you should be.
Do I just hit live and then invite you then?
Yeah, you could do that. Mental health.
Add a guest. Which one do you want me to send to?
Thickness Protection.
Okay.
What's up, Jarvis Media? Getting the show started. SugaKane.
You're invited.
Okay. I don't have all the notes copied yet, so I'm just gonna hang tight for a second here. Talk to the people though. How's everybody's Monday doing? Welcome to May.
We're glad that you guys are here. We're starting this thing. Foxy Box is my name. We're calling this Beatbox. Your friend Dylan, that you already know so well, and I both really love music, and we randomly went live on Instagram and just really super connected about our musical interests. So this is the mind child of Dylan because he's a genius, and it's going to be really fun. So I'm glad that we're starting it.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm honored to have you here, Foxy. And I don't think it was a random live at all. You know, we planned that event just like we planned this one. It's just, it's a progression of getting Foxy Box as a new character in the Palm. How should I say this? The Palmverse
Yeah,
is
the
a
Poppers.
reoccurring cast member in the Palmverse and the Protectors unit. So
I'm so glad that I get to be part of the Palmiverse. So we're just, hey guys on
yeah,
Insta.
hey guys on it. So we're about to get this shit cracking.
How's I'm on my like really dated Android little iPad here on Insta. So sorry if the quality isn't the best.
No need to apologize. We're working what we got. Almost there. Like, so there's a lot of hip hop history this week, isn't there?
Yeah, there really is. You know, there's actually a whole website that I found. Just it's like called hiphophistory.com. So so there was at least like 20 different things that were going on in history this week.
All right. Now I am ready to join your IG lives. Let's go.
Awesome. Hi, Johnny.
There we
Let's
go.
go.
And as I'm expected, I've been excited. And here we go.
All right.
Be coming on here any minute. It's like so many screens. It feels like all systems go. Looking down, looking up, looking down,
I'm
looking up.
one of those people you see with like the like 50 things in front of them. That's just like, trying to beat the system and act like they have a bunch of people in there.
Yeah. Think you'll need to accept my request.
How do I do that? Oh, right here.
Yeah, on
Got
Instagram.
Perfect. We're going live.
And we are here.
Are you in?
And I'm in.
Perfect.
Yep.
Oh,
Make sure this is down. Make sure iPad levels got to be down.
yep, mine's down.
All right, cool. All right, we get the show started. Hey, everybody. I already did a little bit of an intro, but welcome to Beatbox. I am Palm. I'm also Thiccness Pro. I'm also Chillin' Dylan. And we got my girl here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Nice to meet you guys. My real name is Kelsey. So since you get to be part of this with me, I will let you know that my name is Kelsey. So hey, we're all a little bit more intimate today, right?
Ew, intimacy.
So Dylan and I are going to have a lot of fun with this. We have different topics that we're going to try to hit on every week. So just follow along and enjoy the show. Mental health awareness is May, the month for mental health awareness. You can see this little ribbon I got today at the head doctor. So that's how I knew. So everybody know that when you see a green ribbon, it is representing of mental health. I think all of us have our own stories. I think everybody has a piece of their brain that might feel a little broken sometimes. So just shout out to anybody that is struggling currently with their mental health, and know that you have a friend in us. If you ever need anybody to just have an ear, feel free to message me. I don't ever mind that. And also just, know that you're never alone and there's always somebody out there. My dog is digging around on my bed right now. Yeah, you guys, you're never alone. Even if you feel alone, there's always going to be somebody that you inspire out there. And if anything, in my struggles in life and my trials and tribulation, I have learned that there's always somebody there. Always, no matter what. Don't ever know, don't ever feel like you're completely alone. So,
Exactly. One of the reasons why I wanted to collaborate with you on the show, Foxy, was just to bring together community awareness through mental health. Definitely, the first and foremost thing, and that we both kind of belong to, the body positive content creator community, and with me first coming from the hip hop community. So in a mission to unite all three of these Venn diagram things that we're all a part of, I think that Beatbox is going to serve as like a gathering that we can all break bread and hear what's really going on.
yeah, for sure. It would be really fun to do eventually. We've got our program down is to open up like almost like a monthly thing where we do kind of like a love line or like a Dr. Drew kind of style where people can call us with their questions, their problems, and get advice. Who knows? The possibilities.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. All of these endeavors, I always want, the people to, I always turn it over to the comment section and turn it over to the people to really sound off and be a part of that conversation too.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, at the end of the day, you're only as good as the community you have behind you, and community is what we're both about. So it's all good. So do you want to start this off with our number one topic?
Absolutely. We're gonna get into our TikTok of the week, and be it that we're both music heads, there was one account that's a new artist out of LA, post punk style, Sugar Pit. And yeah, you're the one who found this, so take it
Yeah.
away.
I don't know how many of you are super involved with TikTok. The way that the music industry and things are going at this point, it seems like TikTok influences a lot of music trends. and I don't think it's going to be stopping anytime soon. And so when I was scrolling through TikTok the past couple of weeks, I've actually noticed the Sugar Pit guy coming up consistently, and his likes and his following just every single day is growing. I really like him. He's only 18 years old, which I admire the fuck out of the fact that he's able to get himself out there as like a brand new adult. That's so cool. What I really like about Sugar Pit is that it might seem by the traction that he's gaining that he's like a Nepo baby or like a plant, but he's really not. He's actually spoke up about the fact that he is completely self made. He works a regular customer service job to be able to fund his music career, which I really admire a lot. And especially a young kid living in LA and making it, like, that's the shit. That's not for like the weak of heart. People can't just pull that kind of stuff off super easy like that. So I really admire that. I really like Sugar Pit. He's got that just like warehouse kind of punk band vibe to him. He's even missing one of his teeth, which I also like. It shows character. You know, he's not in it for appearances. He's in it for the love of his music, which I'm a huge fan of. And so, if you guys haven't seen him around, he's got that song. It's called Customer Service. In the video that he produced for it, he actually went into Walmart with a fake blue vest and pretended like he was working, and he is just going around being aggravating as hell with his little microphone, getting booted out of Walmart. He's done one at a McDonald's. He's really like for the working class, and the whole entire song, Customer Service, is based. The lines go, I'm working at my job. Yeah, that's right. I'm working at my job. And like, he's just talking about how comedic it almost is that we're just all existing to work at this point, like, and it's like, can't you see I'm working, with like the fake smile. If you guys haven't heard it, definitely search for Customer Service by Sugar Pit. That's definitely the TikTok trending song for this week.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been to many small DIY shows and, been had a chance to, sample the LA punk scene and, I'm from here, so like punk and underground hip hop go hand in hand. And it's dope to hear an artist like this and hear like a young guy still being like in the trenches of the DIY scene. So I haven't had a chance to check out much of Sugar Pit, but I'm definitely looking forward to it because I need to see like what new artists are coming out of the city, especially out of the punk scene. I'm tapped in with the rap scene. I'm tapped in with the alternative scene. But as far as new punk artists, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Sugar Pit's all about.
Yeah, I would definitely check him out before he gets too big, because
Right.
he's real big real fast. And he's cute. He does his little band merch at his shows. He just uses a Sharpie and a white tee,
Nice.
like down to the basics, like old school DIY punk. I love that.
Love that.
So
Okay.
speaking on our TikTok trending, our next topic is going to be our song choices of the week and our albums. Do you want to go first, Dylan?
Yeah, let me take this one. Okay. So my song choice of the week is one that I've really been bumping on repeat, this album Leather Boulevard from Be Kool-Aid, which is a R&B neo soul group consisting of rapper Pink Sifu and producer Ali. And they have a video out right now for a song called What's Up featuring Devin Morrison. I just sent you that joint right before we went live. And what I love about it is that it's just very nostalgic for like the early 2000s neo soul era.
Yes.
So when you see what they do in this video, it's very like you think Coffee Brown, you think Next. It's kind of like Music Soul Child, but with a Jay Dilla Slum Village kind of touch to it. So I really admire. I had a chance a few weeks ago to meet these guys at Pooh Bah Records here in Pasadena, California, and I met Pink Seafood there before. I fell in love with his album he dropped last year, Gumbo. So I think what he does amazingly is, being eclectic. He raps, he sings, he produces, he composes, he does a little bit of spoken word, and then he's kind of like that type of producer who will get like all sorts of different vocalists, different rappers, different poets, and combine everybody. So the glitch factor on that song is the shit to me. Yeah, I've been just like slapping that Leather Boulevard a lot lately. So shout out to Be Kool Aid.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to listen to it, which I was really glad that I was able to. Like, 7 minute long song. So really good. The video was really good. I wrote down a few things that I thought about it. The first impression, the introduction, and then like with the music hitting as like they do their opening, it felt very much like a hot summer day almost. Like, just chilling on the porch, fucking smoking cigarettes, drinking a beer, drinking smoke, having a joint. It just felt very like just being where you're comfortable, the hot day hot, but it's like one of those hot days that just hits right. Like after
Right.
fucking Dorito and bologna sandwich kind of vibe.
That's
Um,
not what I got at all from it. Me personally, I gotta when I review this album, I said I just had a pro black feeling the entire time from the outro and on the songs and like the spoken word aspect of it. For me, it just kind of reminded me of like being back at college and like, just being in the student center, like, hey, what's up? If you see a fly girl, like, hey, what's up? We could, whatever, what you doing after this? It was just like, it was player, but it was like still like post turn up.
and obviously, me being like a white girl from Eastern
It's,
Washington, I've never gotten to have that kind of an experience. So for me, it's a fucking Dorito and bologna sandwich, pool day.
that's
But
what's up.
I also wrote that it reminded me a lot. The flow. I don't know the artists' names. There's two of them, right?
Yeah.
Two. Um, the fella that starts in the beginning, he had that vibe like a mix of like Andre 3000 and
Yeah,
like
yeah. Pink Sifu, he definitely reminds me of Andre
yeah,
3000.
Kendrick and Andre hybrid. It was really really good. Definitely like Aquemini. How do you say that album?
Aquemini.
Aquemini. Yeah,
Yeah,
Aquemini vibes. As soon as I heard it, I was like, this feels so old school. So I liked it a lot.
right. Very nice. So you had the chance to check out Dreamer Isioma's new album, Princess Forever. Tell me what you thought of it.
Yeah, so I had never heard of this artist. I went in completely like with a blank slate mind. I hadn't been familiar with any of the music. You sent me a list. It was like, God, there were like, well, you didn't send it. You sent the TikTok. There were about 10 different albums that came out recently that I could have picked from. I just was like, you know what? I like the sound of Princess Forever being an album name. The art of the album really like popped at me and caught my eye. So my synopsis on this album, I listened to 3 songs off of it, but I'm definitely going to be revisiting it. I subscribed on my YouTube. I was like, fuck yeah, this is such a vibe. They, them is pronouns, I'm guessing. They, them, Isioma is their name. Isioma has such a really like refreshing flow. The mix of the R&B talent with like the hip hop flow, or their delivery was really refreshing because I am kind of a cynic when it comes to a lot of new music. It takes a lot for me to be like, yeah, I like this. I can listen to this. This had that 2008 kind of feel to it. It was really,
I
really,
agree.
really,
Yeah.
really felt like when like you listen to like the Odd Future production kind of stuff,
Right.
like the
Yeah.
like the complexity. It was really, really good. Definitely immediately thought like, oh, this feels like Odd Future. Um, so the best way that I could sum it up, the first song that I listened to was called Awe. It felt very
Um, Dreamer's whole vibe really does. Hold on, my sister called to kind of kind of slipped up the audio. All right, we're good. We're good.
okay.
Hang on 1 second. See, I got all these gadgets. It's cool to like text on my watch midway.
Um, I'll just keep talking about Awe
Yeah,
while
keep going. Yeah, but like I was gonna say, Dreamer really does kind of have that aesthetic that reminds me of the internet. So it's interesting you brought up Odd Future.
Yeah.
I've been aware of their music back when she was still going by Serena Isioma.
Okay.
So to see her evolution up to now is really dope. I mean, she's been touring around and they've been really doing their thing. So props to Dreamer. Now, two of my favorite songs by them were "Stop Calling the Police on Me" and God, I'm drawing a blank already, but fuck niggas always trying to take my shit. So I'm actually trying to see Dreamer live at the Roxy this month.
Yeah, they're really, really good, really talented. So, the first song I listened to was "Awe," and it had like that vaporwave kind of hit to it.
Yeah.
God damn, I love that mall music. It's so good. So it felt very like wave mixed with like a soul R&B feel. Like I said, 2008 vibe. I really liked that. The feeling. What I could say is also I listened to another one that was called "Why Pray to God." I love that just concept as a song to begin with, because you can tell it has a lot of depth to it, a lot of deep lyricism. It was very good music that felt like almost like a new age kind of Pink Floyd The Wall feel. This whole
Right.
album feels like it's definitely like sexy. I'm gonna take a tab of acid with this person that I want them, and this is the album I'm gonna put on vibe. It was so good. And so I would definitely add that to your rotation if you want to keep up on new music. Have Dreamer Isioma on your radar because they are just gonna do really big things. They're gonna take off. It was very enjoyable, and I'm gonna be listening to Princess Forever uh, as a whole throughout this week.
Definitely. I cannot wait to check that one out.
Yeah. So did you
So the next one I definitely had a chance to check out was Sugar Free, SugaKane.
yeah.
That's Sugar Free and Cocaine's project. Sugar Free is a West Coast legend. Cocaine is a hell of a producer who's produced for like Snoop Dogg and Dog Pound. So to hear them together was fire just because, like, I mean, when it comes to lyricists from the West, Sugar Free is just undisputed.
Yeah, like it's hard to find somebody that actually knows much about hip hop that doesn't love Sugar Free. Like he's a legend. Fucking
Okay.
legend.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely is. Um, there, it's interesting to hear somebody make the same kind of music they were making like 25 years ago, and for that I do think that's what makes this golden, but at the same time that's what kind of makes this a little stale and a little less like of my type of thing that I would like revisit. I still prefer like Sugar Free's classics from like street gospel, but I'm definitely going to go back and check out more of Sugar Cane. For those of you who are looking for the official Palm review, I'm gonna have some more extensive thoughts on this to like pinpoint some tracks for you guys. But yeah, for what it's worth, that man's been rapping his ass off for decades. Laying it down, talking about that ism. So he's and then I had actually had a chance last night to read Jeff Weiss's, who's an incredible music journalist. Shout out to him and a friend of mine. He had an article in the LA Times where he interviewed Sugar Free, and just hearing that experience of his, what it was like sitting up here there with Sugar Free in person was amazing. So uh, I guess Jeff went over to his house and he has this lake right outside of the studio, and he has like catfish swimming around in the lake. So just for Jeff to like really detail that vibe of like what it's like to be around that man, and what his life is like these days, how he's like really pays attention to the news, and then he has like a bed right in the living room so he could snooze. Bar. So he has a bed right in the studio there, so he's just like constantly working. He could crash whenever he wants. It's just like going back to that article kind of reminded me of really why I got into music journalism.
Yeah. It's really cool that you know people that are so deeply rooted in the music journalism too. You have good people to look to learn from. It's like, exciting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always been exciting. That's kind of what's kept me in the game like all these years. Just like I never said I wanted to be like the best. I always kind of like call myself, well, I want to be one of the best because I enjoy all these other platforms and all these other creators as well.
Yeah, they say, what's that saying? If you do what you love for work, you never work a day in your life, which is bullshit because working fucking sucks, even if you like. But but it's always, I think that in this day and age that things are so hard that even, our rents take up your wages. I mean, you're working to pay bills, so you might as well take the fucking dive and try to do something that brings you joy. Because I mean, what you gonna do? Be short on bills? You already are working. So
Yeah, no, that's real. Like, um, to spend that much time work, working to pay bills is like, I mean, what are we really living for? And I never wanted to be one of those adults. It's like, hey, how you doing, Dylan? They're like, oh yeah, just working. Like, that sounds miserable.
right, Sugar Pit had you guys got to listen to Sugar Pit. I think he's the working man's spokesperson out there right now in music. Um, did you want to talk about what's in the news, the interesting topics that we had found?
Go ahead and kick it off with the Kardashians.
Yeah, so Kardashians on the road to cancellation? Question mark. You know that they're not going to be canceled because they have too much fucking money. It's impossible to cancel people that are in charge of the media, right? So here's the thing: people are starting to put them in the hot seat for their contributions to the unobtainable beauty standards that are being put upon women in this day and age, 2023. But the past 10 years, it's been really bad. BBL culture, being thick, but also like being perfect. We know that that doesn't really exist unless you have a lot of money. So you are expected as women to have this Kardashian ass and the tiny waist, and you can't, that's just not ideal, with no cellulite or stretch marks or anything like that. And as a body positivity creator, plus size woman, my whole entire life I've been thick, even at my thinnest. I grew up hating my fucking body because I grew up in the early 2000s. Like, it's always such a pressure to be a woman, and in the day and age where there's this body positivity movement and really like a lot of self-love, and there's a lot of support within the communities and stuff, for these people like the Kardashians to just trash all over it once it becomes somewhat obtainable for other people to get a BBL, things like that. And now you've got these girls that are on Ozempic, let's be real, and they're completely taking out their curves, and now they're back to trying to perpetuate the unhealthy body standards of the early 2000s. And so they're kind of being called out a lot for that. And all of them have been so avoidant with even addressing lip injections. Kylie, it took her how much heat to actually admit that she was getting lip injections, or and they all have not even come out about their surgeries, anything like that. So I think people are finally at the point where they're just like, can you be fucking real? You're on reality TV. Can you be real at all? Is
Yeah,
there
with Ozempic, I don't even know what that does. I just know the theme song from TV. Oh, 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 Ozempic.
Yeah. Well, your girl Foxy Box tried Ozempic, but I had a bit of a mishap, and I made myself really unhealthy very fast on it.
What does that
And so,
drug do? I mean, I could ask Google, but I'm asking you.
so basically, what Ozempic does is it's an injection that you take. You just grab your tummy fat, you stick it in. It's for people with diabetes. It's like an insulin. Some I don't remember exactly what it is. My
Mhm.
doctor, hey, you want to try something? And I was like, sure. But then I found out all about it. So basically, what the Ozempic does, though, is it lowers your speed of how your stomach drains and empties itself. So it keeps you really, really full for a long time. And so you don't want to eat. And also, it has an unsavory effect if you eat like shit on it. So if you eat a pizza, um, you're gonna be really sick.
Oh,
So
okay, so it makes you hate the foods that are quote bad for you.
So I think that basically what it is if it's used correctly, this could be used as a tool to help people that have unhealthy habits with food and eating and stuff. But for it to actually long term be successful to keep the weight off once you've lost it, you have to take seriously the diet that goes with it and the lifestyle changes and exercise. Because, it's exercising to tone up when you lose that much weight fast and you're not doing it through physical activity, it's going to end up pretty sad in the end if you're not making lifestyle
Right.
changes.
But as far as the Kardashians go, to circle back, that's nothing new because I feel like, they've been in the popular eye for the last like over 10 years. And like, yeah, they've changed the beauty standards. And, Kylie is, dramatically changed, what is the face of, the quote unquote all American beauty with all of her enhancements. But for me as a guy, it's like, I want women and I want people to be comfortable in their natural skin no matter what's trendy. I don't care about BBLs being trendy or about lip injections being trendy. And these things are nothing new. I remember hearing about like Botox injections when I was in fourth grade and stuff like that. I think how to be part of the solution, Foxy. How do we come up with groups for young women and girls to feel comfortable in their skin without surgeries, without filters, without uh, enhancements?
I mean, if I'm going to be a straight shooter, I don't think it's a problem that's ever going to be able to be solved because people are so at the root hateful. Um, people will just hate me for the fact that I love myself. And that's always going to be a fact. Somebody's always going to have something to say for the fact that I just exist. Um,
Right,
So I think that focusing less on like, oh, let's change the world and more on let's change ourselves is really going to be the way that we have to do it. And women like me, we got to grab these young girls by the hands and show them like, hey, listen, this is not even what real people want. Like, stop letting the media and Hollywood and all of this stuff that's fed to you make your relationship with yourself and your body, because at the end of the day, it's all just to sell product. We all just have to wise up and stop allowing our decisions to be made for us. And I think that that's a bigger conversation, obviously, to have. But I think that it starts with self love. It starts with accepting and knowing um, that these beauty standards are literally there to make you spend more money.
right. Yeah, they are. They are a product of corporate America. They are a product of capitalism. There's a whole beauty industry. There's a whole cosmetic surgery industry. So it's all about a dollar at the end of the day.
It really is. Self love will take you far. So you had mentioned 50 Cent and his new ventures. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, Dylan?
Right. So he's parted ways from my son. I don't have the information in front of me because it was stored digitally and I'm live on my screens. So, he's starting his own G Unit Studios though.
Yeah, so from the research that I did, and it's fresh in my noggin because I just did it before we went live, procrastination problems. So
Virgo, organized. Me.
DPP, the procrastination project.
Oh my god, I just got roasted. Love
Uh,
it.
I did read some on it, and it's looking like he bought this studio and he's wanting to represent more of Black America and Latin America with his company that he's starting, the G Unit Productions, which is awesome. I'm hoping that he pumps out some that like black exploitation Spike Lee kind of joint feel kind of stuff. I'd like to see what he does with that kind of thing. A new Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. Like, let's have some. I want that age of cinema to come back. I think that hopefully he uses it for that kind of thing, along with what I'm seeing is that he's doing a lot of reality TV, which I thought was really interesting. When you think of 50 Cent, you're not going to usually think of like, oh, he's a reality TV guy, but apparently he must love reality shows. He's starting a new one, his newest project that he's getting ready to unravel.
Unravel.
But he's going to be doing a reality show that follows people that have gang related tattoos. Is kind of the gist that I got it, and their steps to trying to like change their life and leave like the life of being in a gang and things like that. Probably really going to be very interesting. So have that on your radar because let's hope. And you know, it's funny. I was thinking about 50 Cent the other night when I was falling asleep for some reason, and I was
Mhm.
thinking how Get Rich or Die Trying was seriously such a masterpiece. And it's funny. Do you like that album?
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I still bump it to this day.
Yeah, it's good. It still hits like in 2023. And what I was thinking is, man, what happened with music that you know, back when we were growing up, a lot of the mainstream stuff, it really did like honestly sound good and it hit like that, you know, and it's just I hope that music can get back to where it was like that because it, you know the things that we were hearing on the radio were actually worth listening to off the radio too back then I missed that.
Right. First of all, I am very proud of 50 Cent for this new endeavor. He's definitely stepping into his own lane as the producer and as just the overseer and getting all the power, no pun intended, in his own hands. So I'm hoping to definitely see, some G Unit Studios produced content that's going to be really dope. It sounds like, there's going to be, he's got his hands full with a lot of activities and a lot of various shows. So I like that he's gone the independent route. This is doesn't sound like Universal or Interscope is, powering this. This is all 50. So I think, to in the spirit of where the lane I'm trying to occupy is this black owned media and having your own network. I think this is somebody to definitely look towards as like a guy really doing it the way it's supposed to be done.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that he'll do really great things. He's using that vitamin water money. That's such a that's such an old joke. Do you remember
Right.
over vitamin water? He had like
Oh
his
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The yeah, the
whatever.
Formula 50, the triple X vitamin water.
Yeah, yeah. I used to hang out with this guy, and he was obsessed with that stuff. It's like it was like his cure for life. Um, so yeah, do we want to move on to this week in hip hop history?
Let's move on.
All right. I have three fun things to talk on. Like Dylan was saying in the beginning of this conversation, hip hop history, there was a lot that happened this week. But in general, there's just a shit ton of hip hop history. So we'll always have a lot to talk about on that. We're going to start with this week in album releases. April 30th, 2002 marks the anniversary of Black Alicious' Blazing Arrow. I know you got a lot to say about Blazing Arrow.
Right. Yeah, classic album. You know what? First in Flight and Paragraph President are two amazing songs. Back when I was in elementary school, there was a video game called ATV Off-Road Fury 2 for the PS2, and that's when I was first exposed to Black Alicious. As a kid growing up, video games got me into underground hip hop as well as punk, and I've discovered a lot of music through soundtracks, and that
Same.
stays with you. That
Big
stays with you. And a couple years ago when uh, Gift of Gab passed, I always almost get him confused with there's Gift of Gab, and then from Seattle there's Gifted Gab, right? Shout out to her too. I know her, but yeah, when Gift of Gab passed, it was heartbreaking, and definitely one of those unsung heroes of the West Coast. So yeah, like I said, what are your favorite songs off those that album, Foxy?
I bet you can guess that I love Chemical Calisthenics. That's off of Blazing Arrow.
Right.
Uh, that was actually my introduction, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So good, so just original. The way to my heart is originality in anything. I just like people that are innovators, people that think for themselves, people that are doing what the fuck they like. I love that. Blazing Arrow is definitely an album I listened to a lot in high school.
Absolutely. Okay. What else happened in hip hop history this week? We have Big Pun had a milestone. Also,
Yeah,
God rest his soul.
Pun came out with Capital Punishment April 28th, 1998. Obviously iconic. Not really much that we even have to say. Anybody that knows hip hop knows Big Pun. So
And Master
there.
P just celebrated a birthday.
Yep, and Master P's birthday is April 29th, 1970. So happy birthday, Master P. You want to know how I first, the first introduction I had to Master P was from TRL. Do you remember Kenny's Dead back in the day and South Park's like height of hype? Master P did a song for the Chef Aid
Of course. Right.
and had a music video and it was on TRL. It was definitely on there for a while. The Chef Aid album actually is the first album I ever bought on my own. And I was probably 9 years old, maybe 10, went up to Sam Goody with the cassette.
Sam Goody.
And they sold it to me. And I listened to that so much. It was my first introduction to so many good artists, like Ween. Ween is on that album. Like,
wow, yeah.
I was 9 listening to Ween, Master P, Primus. You know,
I remember Ween from the SpongeBob soundtrack, and then Primus from Tony Hawk's soundtrack, Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah, so good, so
yeah.
good.
That's shout out to Master P. I think the first time I ever.
Your audio's out, or is it mine?
Exactly what happened. How about now?
Yeah, it's better.
Phone fell asleep. Okay. Yeah. When I first heard him with No Limit and Snoop was when I heard him, but he had the show with his son, Little Romeo.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I was really. Yeah.
It was on Nickelodeon.
I'm a little. Yeah. No Limit was a lot of my palm leaves cite No Limit as an influence, and that was slightly before my time.
Yeah. Well, we're the same age, right?
I'm 30.
Oh, okay. So I'm older than you. So as your elder,
as your elder.
Listen, I'm a little bit of more of an old head than you are. It's okay.
A little bit.
So, last but not least on the talking agenda tonight, we're always going to lead with this in our topics because, of course, the branch between TPP, Palm Media, Foxy Baux, is of course the fact that I am a plus size content creator. If you haven't checked out my content, you obviously should. You're only robbing yourself. So other than me being fabulous, though, what I wanted to talk about was 2 different subjects when it comes to news. So number one, Dylan had brought up the fact that it was recently happening that OnlyFans is removing content creators' profiles as a whole, wiping them. And I didn't know much about this other than my own experience. I am not that keen on OnlyFans as a platform. I feel like they're predatory in a lot of ways. They came in and fucked the game during the pandemic. They absolutely ruined things for people's successes. There's a very small percentage that are up at the top. And all in all, we're providing our own traffic to that site. They are an entity that does not need to exist. So it's touchy subject with me.
So OnlyFans just became the ops for many people.
I have been self-managing as an online sex worker since 2011. We never needed OnlyFans, and now people are very, very cheap because of OnlyFans. In a lot.
So, do you think like the next step for creators such as yourself is
self-managing?
Yeah, self-managing, uploading files directly to like a Dropbox. Oh, yep. Excuse me, like a Mediafire, and then having a Cash App or Venmo transaction, and then people are able to download the content, pay per play that way.
100% the move is to self-manage. You keep 100% of your money. There's not a pimp of a platform taking 80%, 50%, 20%. It adds up. If you have the time management skills, to be able to self-manage. Likely, if you're successful being an online content creator, you already know how to manage. You should start working towards cutting OnlyFans as a whole, because why are we giving them our money? They're not providing any type of service to us. I do have one positive about them. There are a lot of people that want less hands-on experience. They just want to be able to access something when they're in the mood. It's good for that kind of thing. But my hot tip of the week is going to be uh, focus on your Twitter. I just started growing my Twitter because it is a perfect tool for any of us online creators. In 1 week, I have gone up 1,100 followers on Twitter, and I
Bravo.
that. If you want to self manage and you're serious about this, your biggest friend is going to be Twitter. Twitter allows the circulation of adult content. It gets a little bit hardcore in there. I'm not going to lie. If you don't want to see other people's privates, you're not going to like Twitter.
Yeah. My
if you're
Twitter feed is literally a porn site.
it really, like, literally, you could get on there and have a few
It's a good one too. With everybody who's gotten down with the thickness is butt ass naked fucking.
Oh yeah, it's hard to find. I have only one coochie video on mine,
Only
uh,
one.
but I try not. I don't want people to get off without me, and it's a very fine line. Putting your stuff out there as a content creator and finding that perfect balance of enough and too much and not enough. It's a very fine line. I'm still working on it. So as we progress through our podcast and our lives and things like that, I'll learn, and you guys can learn more with me. But my biggest hot tip is, if you are on Twitter, you need to get involved with your local sex work communities. You need to be hooking up with each other, not like, well, I mean, you can hook up with each other. That'll definitely bring the money.
With consent.
Statistically proven that a duo, a collaboration, you're gonna both make about 120% more net than you usually do per piece of content. I've actually been researching it, but you want to build that community, because we're nothing without our community. Like we said at the beginning of this, you have to support each other, and so those Twitter drop groups are going to be your bread and butter. If you are serious about growing your reach, you can grow it really fast. You just got to link up with other sex workers and get added to these Twitter drop groups. There's a lot of them. There's different styles. There's going to be the drops where it is a timed kind of thing. They shoot you a message. They say, hey, is anybody active? Everybody that's active replies. They put an A in there. If there's enough people to do a drop, they open it up. So how it works is each of you put in a GIF or GIF, however you pronounce it. You drop a GIF. A lot of different themes for these groups. It's really cute. They'll be like Sanrio. I'm part of one called Sanriho's. It's really cool. And so you do like a themed GIF. And so you basically go and you react to each GIF. You go to their page. They will specify, hey, I'd like you to share my pinned post. Things like that. You go in, you share that pinned post, you pop that group, you move down to the next person. You drop your GIF in there, you say, hey, I'd like you to hit my most recent media, or hey, I'd like you to get these ones that don't have as many likes or shares.
So it's a
And
good source for engagement.
so yeah, it really helps with that. There's also a different style where you will do like a catch up. So it'll be like you catch up the three above you and you drop one. And that one's not as timed, it's not a round. So if you're not on Twitter, big hot tip for the week, get over on Twitter and start growing your reach. If anybody would like to do that and haven't, please feel free to come to me. I can add you to some groups. I love supporting others in this industry. We have to be each other's friends, because if we're not, nobody else is going to have our backs. We're just such a niche of like the working people, and it's hard work. Sex work is real work, and it is hard work. But if you want to grow that following, you don't have to pay for it, and you don't need OnlyFans.
Right. As a outsider to this business who's been knighted with the pleasure of being an insider and being dubbed the body positive advocate, it's interesting to just be welcomed into a community that was actually existing before Thiccness Protection Program started, and now it's given me joy to document the stories of these people, you know, because in the last couple of years, I only knew what the word, I was only starting to hear the word sex work in the last couple of years. And I wasn't aware of, you know, the many hats that, you know, someone like you could wear. So, uh, you know, just from entertainer who comes from, you know, the music world and the mainstream television world, this has been really fascinating to watch and then be welcomed into this community. So, yeah, I've discovered more creators as I've continued with the podcast. So, yeah, I think this is sounds like a really cool resource that people could get involved with.
Yeah, hey, and who knows? Maybe in a week or so, I can start my own group on Twitter for people that are affiliated with Thickness Protection. Um, the world is the oyster, and if you want it to open up for you, it will. It takes a lot of time, and I'll tell you what. There are a lot of days. I just started this venture again. I left the spicy content world a few years ago, pre-pandemic. I quit, which was stupid that I didn't ride that through the pandemic. But hey, you live, you learn. I thought that I was going to be a sexy suited corporate lady, and I hate working for rich people.
I could see you role playing as that really well. Sexy suited
Oh,
corporate lady.
I actually have a nice, almost 20-minute video of that.
Fantastic.
So anyway, my biggest advice though is your community, and no matter what your venture in life is, no matter what your passions are, you have to network. You have to get people, behind you and yourself behind other people. You supporting each other is the way. And in this world that we're chewed up and spit out and left passionless, fuck all of the rat race. Just go for your dreams.
Thank you.
If you want to be a content creator, whether it's doing what I'm doing or doing what Dylan's doing, you can do it. You just have to start. And it's slow and it's torturous. Don't think it's going to be an overnight thing, because it's not. But don't ever blame yourself for it, because it's not always just going to be your fault either. There's so many variables. But if you have that network and that community behind you, you're going to have a lot of success eventually.
There you have it. There we go. I think that's a great note to wrap on, Foxy. For the first ever beatbox, I think we did it the right way. Touched on everything we needed to touch on. Let them know where they can follow you and check out more of you.
Yeah, so I am Foxy Baux on every platform. There's going to be a variation of the X's used. My actual name is Foxy Baux, Baux is how you spell the last part. But you either add one or two or three X's, and you're going to find me. So have fun on your treasure hunt, and the treasure awaits.
All right. Well, everybody, this has been Beatbox. I'm your host, Dylan Palm, Thickness Pro. And hey, everybody, check out Thickness Protection Program. It's the podcast celebrating body positivity for the adult content creator community. If you got music you want me to review, hit me up at Instagram or TikTok _PA.LM. And for those of you interested in the body positive content and getting to know some of the BBW creators and the males who have had the pleasure of working with them, hey, go check out that Instagram and that TikTok at the Thickness Protection Program and Thickness Pro on TikTok and Twitter.
Yeah, damn straight. Support Dylan, support each other, support me, and be good to each other. And that's what we got.
All right. There's going to be more beatboxes in the future, you guys.
Catch us next week.
All right. Peace,
Good
love,
night.
palm. We want thickness.
Bye.
Bye.